Hello. Hey, there we go. Now the mic works. Sorry if there was a hitch in the music. That was totally my fault. I apologize. I'm just going to check a few things in the setup here before we get started. Yep, using the wireless transmitter headset. Check. Got a bunch of Discord messages, none of which look important because they're just like at everyone's. Oh, I saw on my phone there was a way to look at all your messages that had you tagged in them. I found that on my phone one time and I've never seen it again. Don't know how I did it. This music is really loud in my headset. Let me adjust the volume. Whoa, wrong way! Hey, that's a little better. Alright, I'm thinking about getting a new headset. I am thinking about getting a new headset. I'll probably get another Astro A50 because I like the way the whole mix amp thing works. Got my car keys up here. That's weird. We'll give people just a minute before we get started here for reals.
Welcome to Raid Shadow Legends.
Wow, thanks, Raid Shadow Legends, for like sound bombing my stream. No, I was just pulling up the stream to make sure it looked okay. Because last week we had problems where it wasn't looking okay, and it looks. Let me wave my hand here. Woo! Let's see if my hand wave shows up in a second. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not looking good. No hand wave. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So we're looking okay. We're absolutely looking okay. Let me go ahead and close my curtain here, and we'll start the stream. So let me get the stream starting soon text off my screen. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I had day job stuff I needed to do real quick before I started this party. And then one thing led to another, and before I knew it, it was like 20 minutes later, and I'm like, ah, crap. I'm late from my stream. But now I'm here. So hopefully, you beautiful people will be showing up and chatting with me. That's why I'm doing this. Now today I was going to be like, yo, my shop man Sean, give me my receipt, and he beat me to it. That guy beat me to, hey, it doesn't have my name on here anymore. I thought these used to say my name on them, but this one doesn't have it. Ha! Okay, this is kind of funny. So Vampirella vs. Purgatory costs $3.99. Another book costs $3.99, but I got a different discount on each one. Don't have a clue why. That's kind of funny. Alright, let me go ahead and stick this in here with the other graham cracker receipts. Let's see. Here we go. I really should look at how much money I spend on comic books. It'll be appalling, and it'll make me stop reading them. Save me a whole bunch of money. Oh man, money, right? That stuff is hard to get. You got to work for it. They don't just give it to you for some reason. I don't know what's up with that, but they sure don't. Hey, Jackson Zelda, we're just getting started, really. We're just getting started. So, welcome. See, let me get my little notebook out from under here. I really got to clean up this office. Like, I work on it, and then, like, one time, and then a week later, and it's just even more of a wreck than it was when I started working on it. It's kind of disgusting. Not like the office itself, like, I'm not, like, living in filth or anything, but, like, just the fact that I have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cardboard boxes out in the open, like, come on. Come on, what kind of person do you think I am? Don't answer that. Really don't answer that. I got this out of the 75-cent bin at Graham Crackers. You go to Graham Cracker Comics on a Wednesday, you get 3 books out of what used to be the 50-cent bin, but is now the 75-cent bin. I'm apparently trying to murder the cable on my Astro mix amp here. Yeah, I think I'm giving some serious thought to when I replace this headset here in a little while, to making sure it's an Astro A50, so it'll be the same model. And that should hopefully mean I don't have to change anything with my setup. I also need a new chair, man. This like 25-year-old office chair is squeaking a lot. Every little move makes it squeak now. And that's kinda suboptimal. Anyway, I got this book because I got like another one of these, and I wasn't too impressed by it, but I was like, well, you know, I've got one, and it's like this cool black and white incentive cover or something, also out of the 75-cent bin. So I thought, hey, why don't I just get this? It was right there. I was going to get the two books it was next to. It was just like right there, you know? So the two books it was next to were these guys. So these are in front, and this dude was like tagging along in the back. And I'm like, huh, I recognize that. So I grabbed it. I don't have high hopes for it. I didn't like the one I read too much. But did I do a review of that? I don't even remember if it was notable enough to do a review of, man. A lot of books I read, they're just kind of there, you know? Books are just kind of like, yeah, this is a comic book. It is here. And it doesn't rise, you know, it's like a 30-year-old book. Like, it's not excellent and it's not terrible, so there's really nothing to say. A lot of these Justice League books are kind of in that bucket, where I read them, and when I get done with it, it's kind of like, yeah, I read a comic book and it was okay, and there's not really a whole lot to say. It's not like some of the Batman books where things are absolutely insane, like that one Batman book I have, where Batman is like mind-controlling some other dude's body, and then Batman gets that guy killed. It's like, what am I reading? Number one, when did Batman start like mind-jacking people or body-jacking or whatever? And number two, how did Batman like live with himself after getting somebody killed? Like, it wasn't like the guy got shot or anything. It's like Batman did a jump in that guy's body and missed and went splat when he hit the ground. Like, that's what we're talking about here. Oh, and Batman was like doing the dude's sister, right? To make it even like more creepy. Like, did he kill this guy intentionally? Like, the possibility is there. You know what I'm saying? That was a weird one. I'm pretty sure I talked about that on video. Mostly because it made Ninja Weasel mad. Alright, so I don't have a clue who this villain on the cover is. I guess it's Mr. Nebula. I don't think I've ever seen Mr. Nebula before. Mr. Nebula appears to be taking a bath in his Mr. Nebula armor. Who is this guy? Like, at some point, I go far enough back in Justice League comics, and I no longer know who any of the characters are. I don't know what that says about me or the Justice League. Like, they have certainly gone through a lot of characters. Oh, look at Batman. I flipped to Batman. What's the first thing I see? Batman, like, giving somebody, like, the death... He's giving a robot the death glare. Does that even work? It's a robot, dude. But Justice League's like, the Avengers in Marvel, man. There are too many people on the team. Like, I get it. You want to have, like, all your heroes, like, grouped together. That way you can team them up real easily. Justify, like, people being on, you know, the same issues or whatever when they otherwise probably wouldn't, because they don't normally would never, like, their worlds would never cross. Like, sticking Batman together with... I have no idea who that is. Is that Ice? Yeah, like sticking Batman together with whoever that is. That's how you feel now. Oh, sorry. Jackson Delta says, that's how I feel nowadays. I remember looking at a new DC Comics encyclopedia, and I didn't recognize half the characters. Well, there are reasons for that, some of which are good, some of which are not so good. But yeah, like, 80s and earlier DC is definitely a blind spot for me. Like, the only 80s DC books I had when I grew up were, I might have had, like, a regular Batman or Superman book or something, like one or two. But I had 3 issues of The Untold Legends of Batman, which I think came free with, like, coupons from a cereal box or something. Like, I have no idea how my mom got those. But she did, and I had those. And Oh, maybe they gave those away when the Batman movie came out, late 80s. I don't know what the history of that stuff is. I should look that up sometime. But like that was like my DC comic experience. And I knew who Batman was and the Joker because they were on like Scooby-Doo cartoons and stuff, which were pretty good cartoons, by the way. But and of course everybody knows who Superman is. Like, you can't exist in the United States after 1979 and not know who Superman is. If you somehow don't know who Superman is in the era after Superman came out as a movie, I don't know. But so I didn't have a lot of experience with these characters, especially like the 80s ones. You know, I still see Nightwing popping that ridiculous collar, for example, in his like late 70s, early 80s outfit, and I'm just kind of like, what are you wearing, bro? Like, there is no nostalgia there for me at all. It is kind of a cool costume, and I'm not going to knock it too much, but that collar, man, that collar's nuts. So yeah, when I get to some of these books, I just start reading them, and I'm like, I don't know who anybody is, although I clearly do know who Captain Cold is, so that's kind of nice. So yeah, I got this because it was big and chunky, and I think that there's going to be like something worth reading in this. It's, you know, a quarterly or whatever, and that's okay. 80 pages though, like there's got to be something worthwhile in here. And maybe if I get lucky, we'll have a lot of fun old ads. I remember this, seeing this game in stores, man. That really dates me, doesn't it? I've been binge watching this dude's videos on YouTube. His name's like Chiropolis or something like that. And he just talks about like games that did incredible things on hardware. And it's really incredible that they were still making NES games for the original NES in like 1993. That was like 10 years after the NES first came out. And then Atari games, they were still cranking those out like in 1989, which is like at least a decade after the Atari 2600 came out. It's pretty incredible what gifted people can do when they're given the tools to succeed, even if those tools are difficult to use. Arch Rivals wasn't really a favorite game of mine. I think I only played it like once or twice at a friend's house. I didn't own this one, I don't believe. Although I might now, because I used to subscribe to some, one of those like, we'll send you random junk in a box services. It was, well, I subscribed to like the Indie Box, which was actually really cool. They have these beautiful editions of games. I have them all up on my shelf, right over there. Is there anything doxing if I were to show the camera that way? No, there's not. Where's my phone? Let me see if I can get my phone hooked up to, oh no, I can't. The cable's in the other room. Okay, never mind. That plan is not going to work out, and I'm not going to dismount this camera to look. But they got a lot of really nice editions of games. Like, I got this absolutely beautiful Nuclear Throne, Torchlight 2. It was a cool service, and then they discontinued it, so I guess they weren't making any money. But the other one I got is, Retro Game Treasures, and I did a bunch of unboxings of those for like a year and a half or something while I was subscribed, and they had some really cool stuff. I love their boxes. They look like little treasure boxes. They're super cool. I think that service is still around, but I stopped subscribing to it because I realized at some point, like, I don't have anywhere to put this stuff. Am I just going to put a bunch of games down in my basement? That's lame. I mean, I have like my NES and stuff right over there. So why would I put the games downstairs? They're far enough away as it is because they're in a cabinet in the room next door. And that's plenty far away. I don't want to put them all the way in the basement. If I want to play something like Godzilla on the NES, thumbs up. It's amazing. Hello, J to the L to the Z. And sounds awesome. It was a pretty cool service, Mr. Jackson Zelda. One of the cool, and some of the video game topic here for a second, one of the coolest things I got, and I admit I haven't put it through enough use, is I got a Framemeister, and the upscaling it does for my Super Nintendo is beautiful. Zelda is gorgeous, and Mega Man X looks so good. When my nephew was here visiting, I got him playing that on the night before he had to leave, and he had a hard time with it, and I picked up the controller and just kind of blazed my way all the way through to the Sigma fight at the end. Where then I ran into some problems with the last phase of Sigma because I've never been good at being the last phase of Sigma. But I digress. And Mega Man X has never, ever looked so good. That was a great purchase. I bought that Frame Meister like 3 years ago. I think they discontinued those since then. Anyway, I need to look at the chat instead of looking over at my Frame Meister there. Okay, good. Nobody said anything while I was busy pontificating. The other free book I got, another Justice League Quarterly. These two were sitting right next to each other. I could not resist. This book has been well loved. It's been read. Might have even had coffee spilled on it or something. Or soda. That's okay. I don't care. I got this to read. Hey, and we opened it up to Cracker Jacks, man. I remember these ads. The Beetlejuice video game by LJN, everybody's favorite game company. That is a lovingly rendered airplane. That's pretty. Uh-oh, Dungeons & Dragons. You know, I blame Dungeons & Dragons for a lot of stuff. Not the game itself, but people's reaction to it. Black Canary's looking pretty good from that top-down view. Like the hair. Flash with the rope. Actually, that looks pretty cool. He's like skidding to a stop. That was pretty dope, man. I like that. Oh, did they get shrunk? And they're dealing with a giant dog? Is that what's going on here? Because that's sure what looks like what's going on here. Man, this looks really silly. Oh my gosh! WCW World Championship Wrestling on the NES. I did not have this, but man, be a video warrior. Forget that. Be a road warrior, baby. Animal and Hawk. Some of my favorite tag team wrestlers right there. Somebody did go all in on that plane. Yeah, it was gorgeous, man. Like, let's see if I can find it again. I'm never going to find that plane again, am I? Nope, it's not happening. Yeah, they totally did get shrunk. Yeah, there it is. I mean, there's a lot of lovingly detailed stuff in here, but that plane takes the cake. That looks... Look at the foreshortening on the body. Like, somebody was having a great time, not just with perspective, but with the actual mechanical, like, the architecture of the thing. This looks like a draftsman's work. With the artistic license of the way the foreshortening works. Because that is a wacky perspective, but it's powerful and gorgeous. It exudes like movement. I dig it. It's one of those shots kind of like in Redline, if you've ever seen that animated movie, where like when he kicks the booster on his car, the camera distorts. It goes like all fisheye and crazy. And it's really, really cool. Also, sup Ninja Weasel? Should I be like, sup Weasel? Nah, probably not. That sounds really dumb. Welcome to the stream. Great tag team. Absolutely, Jackson Zelda. Road Warriors were great fun to watch. A lot of the 80s tag teams had really kind of... Let's flip that back around. Really kind of awesome character. Like, there was something unique about them. They weren't just like guys in tights. Like, you know, I watch All Elite Wrestling every week. And my opinion on the current storylines aside, like, I find FTR to be an incredibly boring tag team to watch because it's like two guys in trunks and that's it. Whereas, like, all the tag teams I remember were crazy. You had the Road Warriors coming out in like their armor and their face paint. It was great. The Blade Runners coming out in their face paint. Although I gotta admit, I don't remember a whole lot of Blade Runners matches, but I remember what they look like, man. Sting and Ultimate Warrior back before they were Sting and Ultimate Warrior, like what they became. They were great. The Bushwhackers, man, with their crazy, crazy gimmick, like very memorable. $1 Million Man and the IRS, like, there was a lot of those kind of tag teams that had like a cachet to them that was better than just like, hey, we're just some really good wrestlers and we're jerks. That's one of the reasons I do kind of like watching like the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros wrestle, for example, because they come out, they've got like exciting ring attire. Although I gotta admit, I'm kind of tired of like seeing 17 super kicks every match, but I guess that's the thing, right? Rock and roll. Oh, Heart Foundation, man. You know what kind of dudes it takes to wear pink? Oh, man. Yeah, Heart Foundation, man. Great stuff to watch. It's kind of funny. Two of them are related. One of them's not, right? Because you got Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the South, on there as their spokesman, while Jim Neidhart and Bret Hart are out beating the crap out of people. Good times. I kind of miss seeing that kind of wrestling, man. Like, a lot of technical stuff today is really amazing to watch. I see people do just absolutely incredible things. I also see them do some really stupid stuff because of things that came out of ECW. Yeah, ECW in the 90s. Like I just watched, well, I guess watch is a generous term. I watched part of Ring of Honor's last pay-per-view because they had part of it like on YouTube. And the last match there was, maybe it was the only match, I don't remember. I just fast-forwarded until I got to it. It was Danhausen, who's hilarious just to watch. PCO, who I really like watching work. Yep, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And then they were wrestling, what are they, the Bruisers or whatever? And that match was just full of some stuff that was incredible. Danhausen's like skinny, man. That dude can't weigh more than like 180 or something. And he picks up the Beer City Bruiser. Beer City Brawler? Oh my gosh, I'm so blanking on his name. He picks up this big dude that's got to weigh as much, like 300 pounds, like as much as me, over his shoulders. And it's just like, there is no way that, even with the guy helping him, that he could do that. That, proportionally, that's like a bigger move than Hulk picking up Andre to slam him. But he did it, and it was goofy and a lot of fun to watch. That whole match was fun. Oh, and it hurt too. That match hurt me because one of the dudes, Brawler, like jumped off the ring, the second rope, and did like crossbody to where PCO was laying on the outside the ring. So dude just like drove his knees right into the concrete under the yoga mat, and it hurt, man. It hurt me. I didn't want to move my legs after I watched that. Anyway, we should actually probably flip to the books I bought, right? Why not? Let's see, did I read all the chat here? Let's see. Ninja Weasel's chilling, talking heads, another typical day on the road. Then March Hare just lists off great wrestlers. Rock and Roll Express, the Heart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, the Horsemen, man, the Four Horsemen. That's a bunch I have not seen wrestle a lot because they worked WWF, and that's what I watched when I was a kid. But, you know, you see clips and stuff of, like, their shenanigans on YouTube, and it's always just a lot of fun to watch Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. I'm trying to think of what Arn Anderson's brother's, like, how to pronounce his name. Ole Anderson? I don't actually know. Like, watching the antics they get up to, interfering in matches, Tully being Tully. Like, that was a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to flip these around just because that cover is so bright. It was messing up with the color balance of the camera. Oh, refreshing beverage. So yeah, it's been a busy day at work. It's been a busy week at work, man. Oh, I'm on call. So if you were on my Twitch, like both, you're from North Carolina, Flair's a hometown. Man, I love watching Flair. Sometimes he's kind of buffoonish and cartoonish, but I like watching him. Have you seen those commercials he's doing right now for Car Shield? They're hilarious. They are the best part of like Impact's program. When they go to commercial and Ric Flair's on, doing cutting a Ric Flair promo for an insurance company. Absolutely ludicrous. Alright, I'm going to talk about comic books for a minute, then I'll come back over to the chat. So, Vampirella vs. Purgatory, issue 5. I don't really remember where we left off, and I don't know that I could show that first page on camera. Oh yeah, I can show this for sure though. So, like, it turns out Lilith manipulated everybody to do everything. So, like, she's like fighting her arch-villain. Lilith won. She didn't really want to end the world anyway, but that was going to be like a consolation prize if the rest of the plan didn't work or something. I don't know what's going on in here. It got crazy fast. And, wow! Okay, I was just reading, like, what was happening over here. So she's got, like, her little psychic undying pet or whatever. And I think she just, like, broke her neck right there. So she could barge into Purgatori's mind or something. That's crazy. I have no idea who Purgatory is, by the way. I'm just, like, reading this book and... that's pretty much how, like, every Vampirella story involving her mom ends, isn't it? Goodbye, mother. Don't call me. Like, that's pretty darn typical. Every time they interact, the hatred comes out. And we got North Carolina squad representing and March Hare throwing up the horns. Uh-huh. I can see I'm outnumbered here. Definitely a little bit on the outnumbered side. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a request. If you're hanging out there right now, and I can see that you're hanging out. Oh no! Oh man, the stream, OBS totally glitched up. I don't know if the stream hiccuped there. Yeah, it's Purgatory from Chaos Comics. It's just not a character I'm very familiar with. You're Hawaiian. I only grew up in Hawaii. Jeez. Don't make me serve you pizza with pineapple on it, okay? Because if you're not careful, man, you're getting a pizza with pineapple and Canadian bacon on it. And you're going to have to like it. You won't have a choice. Otherwise, I'm going to bury you in a hole. Or worse, I'll take you out to where the marching dudes are at. And they'll just carry you off to your death. What are those guys called? The Night Marchers. Yeah, but what's the Hawaiian word for it? Of course. Oh, is that it? Wakaipo? I probably just butchered that. It's been a long time since I said any actual Hawaiian words the right way. Since I was a kid, man. You had to pick somewhere? Gotcha. Oh, March Hare is starting the Holy War. He doesn't mind pineapple on pizza. Honestly, I don't. I understand why people don't like it, but I don't understand the hatred of it. There are way worse things people put on pizza on the regular. Let's see. March Hare also says he hates that Polito does not have the rights to a lot of the old Chaos Comics characters. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things about business, man. If you're not careful, stuff just gets out of your control. Yeah, mushrooms. Dude, I hate mushrooms. I don't eat them. I'm actually pretty good at finding, like, the teeny specks of mushrooms that show up in, like, noodles and stuff that I get from Chinese restaurants and things. Like, oh, little mushroom. I understand why people like mushrooms. They just ain't for me. Oh, man. This has turned into, like, a rambly podcast. We haven't even shown anything. Here, let me put the next book down, just so you got something new to look at. And then we'll flip this open in a second. There we go. I don't even remember what I thought about the last issue of this at this point. Dude, it's Japan. I understand your horror. I understand your terror. I understand your fear. I'm 100% with you on that. But it is Japan. And to be fair, that's one of the least abominable things that the Japanese have produced in the last 30 years. You know, they created like the Super Nintendo, and then after that, it was just like, all right, guys, it's time to get weird. In fact, I remember like a Onion article that I'm not going to reference directly, but it was kind of like Japan was very confused as to why people didn't like the things they were creating. Oh, let me hit show on that. I'm sorry you got auto-modded there, March Hare. Let me read this out here. I don't see anything that's really offensive. It's been a sore spot with Polito. Or, March Hare says, it's a bit of a sore spot with Polito. I made the mistake of asking about Evil Ernie in a live stream. He wasn't a jerk about it, but I felt bad for asking. Yeah. I understand. Rob Liefeld kind of has the same thing going on with Youngblood, man. He will go on like week-long Twitter tears explaining to everybody that he has nothing to do with Youngblood anymore and to please stop talking about it because there's nothing he can do. So, stuff happens like that. Crappy stuff happens. It's just the cost of doing business. Sometimes you get all your hopes and dreams come true, and other times, you know, you lose the rights to something, you fold. You know, just think, Jack Kirby over how many years created how many characters? And how successful they are? They're the cornerstones of billion-dollar franchises. Like, pretty much every Marvel character that has a big movie, Jack Kirby created it. Except for Spider-Man. Several of the DC characters. You know, like you go watch Justice League again. Like, it's got new gods and stuff in it. That's all Kirby. And he got nothing for all that hard work. He got nothing. And the stuff he did own that came out, you know, as the 80s turned into the 90s, like, none of it sold. That man worked his fingers to the beyond the bone. He worked his fingers until there was nothing. And he got nothing after a whole lifetime of making other people rich. It's just, it's crap. It's life, but it's crap. And I feel Brian Polito's pain. I feel Rob Liefeld's pain. Because sometimes you make business deals and they're bad ones. Where you go out of business and you got to sell something or auction things off and it's crap. So yeah, I definitely feel that, man. Alright, let's crack open Tarna here and see what's going on, because it might be pretty cool. Alright, kind of promising on the first page. We got like a dead possessed guy. Waking up after Tarna murdered everybody. Well, yep, she murdered somebody else. You know, I'm okay with like the battle armor stuff she's wearing. I know a lot of people made a big deal out of that. But in Squeaky Chair, in how many years of being published, like surely she's worn armor at some point. Like, she's been published since what, like 1979 or something crazy like that? So, it doesn't offend me. I know why people are upset, and that's okay. They can be upset, and I'm not entirely sure what's about to happen here, but I'm going to stop flipping through this book, because if this is like a giant monster waking up or something, I don't want to miss this. I don't want to spoil the showdown, but I like that. It looks like a giant monster face, like from inside of a statue or something waking up. Maybe a sarcophagus? Yeah, there's a dude over here, like, hanging out in front of it. Oh, sorry, lots of glare. Hanging out in front of it. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Hopefully this issue is cool. Whenever the book was doing like actiony stuff, I was down with the stuff in Tarna. And when the book wasn't doing actiony stuff, I was not down with Tarna. I got one more book to show. This actually came out last week. And I don't think I actually saw it, or I passed on it. Let me see. Here's the books from last week that I have not done a review of yet. Yeah, it's not in here. I'm probably not doing reviews of these. I might do a review of that, because that was kind of mediocre. I think Deep Beyond has gone off the rails. Maybe I'll talk about that. Carmen was very satisfying at the end, but the book is just weird, and I don't think makes a whole lot of sense even after you read the whole thing. So I don't know how I actually feel about it. But this came out last week, and I don't know why I didn't buy it then. But I got it this time. So Clans of Bellari, I don't know anything about it except it's like some sci-fi thing. The laws of the Bellari system. No person nor clan may exit it. No. No one may do the work of another clan, and clans may not merge. Alright. Cool. So, I don't know anything about it, man. I just flipped through it. I saw some stuff that looked kind of neat, like, I don't know. This is actually the midway point of the book, and it's what I actually flipped open to first. And I was like, huh. I have no idea what's going on. See, Ninja Weasel, going back to Tarna here, and I might have been a little late reading this chat because I was looking at this book over here. It's definitely different. I grew up on the leather bikini Tarna. I mean, she wears that at the start of the series. She puts on the armor before she goes to fight Urkus's army. Like everybody else, but it's pretty cool looking armor, and it certainly makes more sense. I mean, she's a Tarakian, and who knows, man. But, the armor was kind of cool looking, like, I like the pauldron, the way the shoulder looks. I like the color scheme. I think it's kind of cool. Oh my god. I recognize those records, man. I remember seeing these in stores. Like that Police album right there. Oh no. Oh no, I'm looking away from the comic books. I got my head in my hands. I'm over here and I'm reading a sci-fi book where somebody is selling old LPs. How did the record survive as a format into the future? Who's still buying these things? Are there that many hi-fi audio nerds still alive in the future? I guess the answer is yes. Oh man, that's some Arc needs. Is like home decor. I'd build some of that. Especially at the one house I built that is like a bar with a hotel attached to it. That's pretty cool. I gotta go do like a tour of all the houses I built on Ragnarok, because some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are not so cool, but some of them are pretty cool. Hold on, I see I got chat here. I'm putting my glasses back on. Ninja Weasel says, but vinyl's so much better than digital, didn't you know? I mean, I still have some records. Actually, I should rephrase that as, I rebought some records. I've got a record player somewhere, but it ain't hooked up. And I got a brand new Johnny Cash record that I want to play on it, but I haven't hooked up my record player. I probably need a new needle cartridge for that thing and everything. Because that's how records roll. I mean, there's nothing wrong with vinyl. I'd rather listen to vinyl than a cassette. Which, I have cassettes, too. Let's not talk about that. Not that I own like 1 million cassettes or anything, but I still got a couple mixtapes I made. And then I got some tapes of my brother's that he left in a car that my parents were like the custodians of for a while. So I still got his like set of tapes that were his like cruising music. First time I heard the Beastie Boys anthology, The Sounds of Science, was actually cassettes. My brother bought it at Hastings in Richmond, Kentucky. I don't think Hastings even exists anymore, but he bought it there, and we were driving around in the country rocking that stuff. See, Ninja Weasel says, I mean, to be real, I do have some vinyl, and my dad's literally thousands, but I don't know if I really call it better. Digital sure as heck wins on the portability front. Portability and preservation, and unless you have like really good ears and a really good hi-fi system with a really good analog tube amp, I'm not sure that you're going to get vinyl that sounds better than what high-end digital sounds like. Like something that's FLAC compressed, for example, is literally the unedited audio stream. Like, it doesn't get much better sounding than that. I don't know if the FLAC standard includes like the full audio range that a record can reproduce, but I bet it does. So short of actually being in the location where the music is playing, I'm not sure you get much better. Hey guys, it hit 9 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna call it here for this stream. And I don't know if I'm gonna go do anything on. That was not what I meant to click on Twitch after this. But yeah, I think I need to wrap up here for this. I try to keep this to an hour or less. And we're like at the 40-something minute mark now. So let's just do a quick review of the stuff I picked up today. So the free stuff we'll put in the back because it is obviously less cool because it was free. Although I think those Justice League books are going to be pretty cool when I read them. Let's see, I might have put those a little too far up, huh? Let's pull that down a little bit. There we go. Now you can see that stuff. And then the other books, we'll put Vampirella on top for obvious reasons of getting clicks. That should be my thumbnail. Is just like, yeah, I would do that. I would like make my thumbnail like her cleavage, like just like that. Except YouTube would like pull that down. So there's everything I picked up this week. 3 books I bought, 3 books I got for free. Not a big week, but I hope it's going to be some satisfying stuff. And the end of this story is going to be great, and the start of this story is going to be great. Got my fingers crossed. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't yet hit that like button, be sure to smack that like button on the way out of here. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you want to see more of this kind of me jabber-jawing about comic books. And hit that notification button if that's your jam. I gotta say these things. The algorithm requires me to say them so that people will actually do these things. So hopefully you take care of this stuff. Otherwise, you all have a great rest of your night, day, whatever you got going on. I am sadly stuck being on call. So the fact that I haven't been disturbed so far is a miracle, and I am very thankful for it. And hopefully I don't get disturbed later on. That's the only reason I'm not going to go stream on Twitch right now, is I'm afraid of my luck running out. You all take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.